We are live. Hello, everybody. My name is Lamont Parker-Emerson Jr. This is my friend, Sarah Swank, currently. But what will you
It's probably gonna stay Sarah Swank, honestly. Yep. I like the ring that it has to it. It sounds listen, it's nice. Sarah Swank.
I totally agree. I rolled my eyes
Thank you.
because I'm in agreement with you. I didn't roll my eyes and
Okay,
disagree.
okay.
Roll my eyes like, yeah, that is fine.
Okay. Thank you. It is. I enjoy it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, this is going to be the third time that we are recording this episode of this podcast, but it is a highly anticipated. I think we've told so many people in the 3 times recorded this episode that it is an highly anticipated, waited for episode. So we're gonna
I think so. Everyone at work knows. They know.
right. So I'm gonna I'm gonna give the floor to Sarah here. Sarah, tell us about yourself.
Well, all right, okay. We're just jumping right in.
Right.
My name is Sarah Swank. I'm from the Mansfield area. I have an associate's degree in psychology from North Central State in Mansfield. And then I also just finished up my bachelor's program at Harvard University's Division of Continuing Education. So I did it all online. Um, I'm currently taking classes through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. Should finish those up here in a few months, and I am currently applying for master's programs in nutrition at UPenn and Boston University.
Wow, that is a mouthful. Goodness gracious. How do you do all of that? That's a lot of work.
So here's probably a not very uh common fact about me, or well-known fact rather. I love taking classes.
Okay.
Like I love it. I do well with the structure that it has. I thrive on structure.
Yeah.
Um, and this is gonna sound crazy. I love writing papers.
Ooh.
Like I love writing papers. So like taking classes, love it. And honestly, I don't know if I'm not like going full speed, I'm like, what am I doing? So,
Interesting. Interesting.
yep.
Guys,
Unique individual.
yes, you are. One in a million. Better
Thank
recognize.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. So, everybody, hello. My name is Keith Lamont Parker-Emerson Jr. I am a expert online personal trainer, fitness and nutrition specialist, and studied at Bowdoin Wallace University for 2 years after tearing my ACL, MCL, meniscus. Came home and did 60 credit hours of exercise science, and I minored in music. So I met Sarah at Planet Fitness and thought, hey, let me team up with this superstar. And yeah. Don't discredit yourself. For
I
real.
I didn't even comment. I'm just gonna hide my face because my face tells everything.
This superstar, guys, like we have a newsletter that's gonna be coming out to you guys. And just the vocabulary, the detail that Sarah used in describing her recipe, guys, that's why I said she's a superstar. She was not lying. She talked about paying meticulous detail to writing with precision. So, yes, I teamed up with this superstar. And
Thank
after weeks of conversation, I was like, yo, what if we started a podcast and we talked about nutrition from a scientific perspective, which Sarah is going to give you guys. And I'm going to come from a biblical and esoteric, and we're going to combine all of these things to give you a holistic view to draw from, to help enhance the quality of your
Well, now you gotta explain quality. Don't forget that. Don't forget that.
life. Yeah. So, mic drop. Quality is the brand, the business, and our slogan is the standard above. It is our unique goal and mission to help you improve and enhance the quality of your life by representing what the standard above is. And in this podcast, Eat It Up, Sarah and I are going to be able to do that for you. From us, for you, by us, boo-boo.
That works. That works. It's a good description.
So today I have 4 questions for soon to be graduates. I gotta say that. Sarah Swank. Sarah, we're gonna talk about diet today. We're going to inform our audience what diet is, why we diet, where can they get quality information,
Hmm.
and how do they get in contact with us after this podcast. Let's go ahead and start with the first question.
Okay, so what is diet? Yeah. So, diet can be described many different ways. There are different kinds of diets. I'm sure you've heard of at least one of them. Keto diet, carnivore diet is huge right now. Even if they're not called a diet, it's still kind of a diet. So, intermittent fasting is essentially a diet. But I like to describe diet just as what you're putting in your body food wise and drink wise. It's whatever you are eating and drinking throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month to nourish your body.
I love that definition, and it's very simple. It's tangible for our audience to grab hold of and then apply. Now, what I did, guys, was do a little research and grab a definition from the Bible and from a few esoteric sources, esoteric meaning spiritual sources, to give you guys another perspective of diet. Handy dandy iPad. Bam.
Very nice. I like the purple cover.
Thank you. Thank you. It's actually a suitcase. Isn't that dope? Like, it's like
It
a little kid suitcase.
is. See, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought it was like one of your kids' iPads, and I'm just
It
like,
is.
dude,
It is a kid's case. I bought it like that because, like, what?
well, and also I feel like indestructible,
Yes,
which is nice.
exactly. So this was the best thing that I could possibly do to ensure that this thing is not.
That's valid. Yeah.
Yeah. So the biblical definition for diet is the Bible often refers to diet in the context of nourishment and obedience to God. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 29, God gives Adam and Eve a plant-based diet. The word says, I give every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. Later, dietary laws in Leviticus 11 outline clean and unclean foods, emphasizing holiness and discipline in what we consume. Now, an esoteric answer for what diet is. Diet is viewed as an energetic exchange that influences the body's vibrational frequency. Ancient texts suggest that certain foods like raw plants enhance spiritual clarity, while processed foods create stagnation. Many spiritual traditions promote fasting or conscious eating as a way to elevate consciousness. And our sources for that answer are going to be hermeneutic teachings, the Ayurveda, and the Essene Gospel of Peace. Now, Sarah, with those definitions laid out on the table, how do you feel?
I really love the esoteric perspective for sure, and the spiritual aspects of it, because it really does feel like a relationship between yourself and food and the way it can affect you.
Yeah,
Um, Especially, processed foods kind of do make you feel stagnant. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've eaten
oh,
processed food, love me some Doritos, and just felt rough afterwards. Whereas, it's true. Whereas, if I am eating a meal that is good for me and nourishes me, it makes a huge difference. And you and I have talked about that because I've recently cut dairy.
yeah.
Um, and I can really tell a difference. I had some dairy over the weekend. My sister-in-law had a baby shower with a fajita bar. It was
Yes,
game over because
go ahead, man.
there's no way I'm gonna not put sour cream and cheese on my fajitas. That's
I Yeah,
but like I felt it. Like my belly hurt. I'm kind of breaking out a little bit. So yeah, like I can definitely see the relationship between what you're eating and how you feel.
yeah. I am in total agreement with that as well. It's interesting that this definition expresses it as an energetic exchange that influences the body's vibrational frequency. Like I had mentioned previously, I am a music minor, and the thing in which I was drawn to in music production was manipulating frequencies. We know
Oh.
that different frequencies cause different behaviors. And it's been scientifically proven. We have data that certain frequencies literally cause people to act a certain way. And we see it used throughout all of history. This is how we communicate. My voice is going to resonate differently when you hear it than Sarah's voice, but it's going to affect you in such a way that I hope we're drawing you in, and it's an energetic exchange, just like your food is. So we know that, uh, as expressed in this definition, that raw or raw plants are going to have a higher energy or higher frequency because of the connectivity with the sun. Its main source of energy through photosynthesis. This is not high level stuff, guys. You learn this in grade school. Sun, plant, sugar, energy, food. Guess what those carnivores, omnivores are consuming? They're having an exchange with that plant or an animal who consumed that plant. So it's, think about it like this: sun, plant, okay, maybe this is a vegetarian animal that eats the plants, then a carnivore eats the vegetarian animal. That's like third party energy exchange instead of first directly from the sun, or second directly from the sun through the plant to the animal, uh, which shows you the quality difference in the food energetically. Yeah, I thought about this over the past 3 times, guys. Yes, at the same time. I know it's crazy, but I had a lot of time to think about these concepts that we were going to be talking about to be able to explain them a little bit deeper instead of just giving the surface level. So with that exchange, we often see the effect of a person's energy. Because think about it. If we're second party and we're consuming that animal that consumed the plant, which got its energy from the sun, it's 3 different bodies or entities before the energy got into us. So that the highest is going to be the sun. We're going to get less of that pure energy. So it's going to be a different frequency that we exchange than if we consume the plant directly. Or I don't know if you've seen this on Netflix, but people literally just consuming the sun. Yeah, you can't eat the sun. Yeah, there's a
I'm no doctor, but
these people were starving themselves, literally only living off of sun energy. And no, don't get me wrong, I'm probably over exaggerating because I didn't see this. I just know that this is a documentary out, and I'm pretty sure it's called Eat the Sun.
dog,
Yeah.
it don't work like that.
But that's the esoteric view in which these hippies, these people who are thinking like this, are trying to say that you could energetically fuel yourself by consuming or getting your energy straight from the sun. We are omnivores, which means we consume plants and animals. So our energy is coming from an animal, from the plant, and the energy or vibration that we can get from that can be diminished depending on where the source is from.
Powerful.
Yeah. Now, for our second question, Ms. Swank, why do we diet?
That's, I mean, why does anyone diet? To lose weight and look good. I
Period.
mean, that's really what it is the majority of the time. There's a lot of societal pressure on people, um, especially women, but I mean on men too, to look a certain way. And for many people to get to look that certain way,
Yeah.
they think they need to diet. Yeah, it's I mean, granted, there are people that need to diet a certain way for legitimate health reasons. But the majority of the time, you're dieting because you want to look a certain way.
Facts.
You know,
Slay.
just being honest.
It's I want to tap into something that you just said because you haven't said it in either of the past 2 times we did it. I know I'm gonna keep mentioning it so others can be like, damn.
It's all good.
They
Third
are
time's the charm.
third time is a charm. You had said that it's harder for women than men. Why do you believe that?
Um, Honestly, and I probably am biased because I am a woman.
What?
Um, but no, I just think there's a lot more pressure for women, especially as women age, to look a certain way. Like, I can't tell you how many times I have seen an article, or watched a video, and the woman's like 30 years old, and people are like, oh my gosh, she looks so good for 30. I didn't even think she was
Mm,
30. And it's like, when did 30 become old? Like, how is a 30-year-old supposed to look?
mm.
Um,
Great question.
Whereas, like, I'm sure it is just as difficult for men. I'm sure it is. I just have more experience with women.
Yes, yes.
And I also think, at least from my perspective, and y'all can call me out on this, Women tend to be a little more harder on themselves in
Mm,
terms of how they look. Um, it's rare to meet a woman that is content in how she looks.
that's fair.
I'm guilty of it. Pretty much every woman I know is guilty of it.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I definitely say that in men too. Like I work at a gym. Um, but yeah, I just think it's probably a little different for women.
Yeah, I think it is equally as hard for men and women because, again, there's a standard that media has set for society to look like this, sound like that, and move as according to plan. There's an agenda, right? And even though that's what's pushed out on social media, it's incorrect because we know that obesity's up. But I mean, these are the facts.
I mean, seriously though, it's funny you say that. I've read obviously quite a few books related to nutrition.
Yeah.
Um, y'all should read Salt, Sugar, and Fat.
Mm,
I forget who the author is, but it takes a really
yeah.
interesting look.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it takes a really good look at how just the food industry in general has contributed to the words and I, whew, the obesity epidemic through cheap ingredients in
Mm.
food, salt, sugar, fat. Um, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, no, no. Thank you for dropping a gem on our audience and on me as well. Salt, sugar, and fat. We will drop that in the description below for you to go check out for yourself. I,
And I promise you, I know it's hard for both men and women.
no, no, no. She's being biased, like she said, because she's a woman, guys. Yes, she is a woman. I know. In the time that we live in, why are we telling you guys our gender? Yeah, that's the time that we live in. I am a man. No, but no, the funny thing is like simply by the fluctuation in somebody's voice and their confidence behind it, you wouldn't know. Like she was firm. But I purposefully said, I am a man to get y'all to be like, what? Is he gender confused? Yeah, I know.
That was a good one.
I
That was a
had
good
to do it.
one.
I had to do it. No, I'm not. But this is the facts. This is the time that we live in. Obesity's up. Media is pushing out their agenda, and all you're seeing on your social media platform are fit people who look a certain way and eat a certain way. And you're following these fad diets and these trends, thinking that you're going to obtain those results, and you're an individual. And that's the point, guys. We're gonna give you general knowledge that you can grab hold of that's tangible, which will allow you to implement into your life so that you can be better prepared when it comes to understanding fitness and nutrition. I'm just going to drop a little bomb. I love it. Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
After this episode, we're going to invite you guys to join our email list. In that email list, we will give you a quick transcript of what we talk about in the episode, a workout, a meal, guidance, guys. This is it's a four piece. This is a 4 for 4. What? F Wendy's, you need to come get this 4 for 4 right here.
It's a $5 biggie bag now.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, 4 for 4.
oh,
Mm,
that was me. That was her raining on my parade, guys.
my bad.
No,
Sorry.
no, no, no. This is like good banter. This is good for the people to see. But guys, we've really only known each other for a month, and our relationship is dumb copacetic. Like it's freaking ridiculous how funny we are, and like we can chat. It's because we're just honest with one another,
For
flat,
sure.
flat out. So it's cool that you guys get to see this in action. Yeah.
Here's your bomb again. Sorry I rained on it. You're welcome.
Oh gosh.
Sorry.
It's been too long, girl. It's been too long. All right,
Happens.
ski. So, why do we die? Sarah, give us a quick rundown one more time why we die, and then I will get into the biblical and esoteric version.
Oh, were you telling me to give a rundown? Oh shoot. I thought you said I did. I swear they're gonna be looking at me and they're gonna think not a thought behind them eyes. Anyway, a rundown. There are multiple reasons we diet.
Yeah.
Mostly to look a certain way, and also to fit society's picture of what we should look like. And I forgot to mention the first time around, a lot of it can be related to peer pressure. Um, how many times have you heard somebody say, "Oh, my friend's doing this diet or this diet, so I'm gonna give it a go." They tried this one and they lost however many pounds. So, a good mix of societal pressure, occasionally peer
Mm,
pressure, and this just the desire to look a certain way.
yeah. Excellent. Excellent. All right. From the Bible, the biblical answer is that fasting and dietary discipline are often linked to spiritual growth and obedience. In Daniel chapter 1, verses 12 through 16, describes Daniel and his friends consuming only vegetables and water as an act of faith, leading to improved health. Fasting is also seen as a way to seek God's guidance. We see that in Matthew chapter 4 as well. The esoteric answer is that diet is a tool for spiritual awakening and self mastery. Ancient traditions teach that eating consciously strengthens the mind body connection. Practices like intermittent fasting are believed to decalcify the pineal gland, enhancing intuition. Again, our sources are going to be Kundalini teachings, the Sufi traditions, and Taoist nutrition, which is Chinese. Now, with those definitions interwoven together, where do you find yourself?
I'm really loving the esoteric perspective. Um, I think that it is a good way to learn self mastery. Um, Really, really good way to learn self mastery. That's a good way to describe it. Um, I don't expect anyone to stick to, fantastic eating 100% of the time.
Mm,
Um, but if you can do it most of the time and, um, you know, indulge occasionally, that's fantastic. That is such a good form of self mastery. And I think it's going to translate to other aspects of your life.
that's so good. That is so good because we want perfection and are unwilling to deny ourselves that,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's a good reminder to, I mean, you're not going to be perfect at it, especially like when you're just getting going, and you should definitely give yourself grace until you learn that self-mastery because it is essentially a skill.
Of course.
Um, and you're not probably ever going to be perfect at it because let's just be honest, perfection is an illusion, you know?
It is, but I
Feels like it. Feels
every time I look in the mirror, I perfection.
perfect. See, that's great. That's a very, very good way to look at yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
I mean, you all should look at yourselves that way because you're all beautiful. You're beautiful.
Beautiful.
But real talk, and to quote you, think about it, guys. Sarah is trying to master herself, her diet, by removing dairy simply because she knows that her body is not responding well. It's having a reaction. The symptoms are acne, bloating, inflammation, things that she does not want to experience. So, what does she do? Eliminates dairy as much as she can, but also mentions to you guys vulnerably that my sister just had a baby shower. I'm going to eat sour cream and cheese on my fajitas flat.
I had like I don't drink often at all, and I it was endless margaritas at this baby shower, dude.
What?
Yeah.
What kind of
So
baby shower y'all were getting crunk? Like,
dude, it was a great baby shower. I had like a margarita or two, and like I definitely indulged, but like
I love that.
then I got back to it, you know. That because you can't be perfect 100% of the time. And there's nothing wrong with indulging, especially in like cases like this. I wanted to celebrate with my brother and sister-in-law, and yeah.
And you did.
Well, I did.
So, guys, strive for just what is good for you. I think that's the best way that I can put it. I was lost for words.
Progress, not perfection.
Thank you. And you took the words right out of my mouth. You just are a good thinker. But yes, yeah, that's right there. Strive for progress, not perfection. Our next question. Where do I get valid information on diet, Sarah?
So that's a fun question
Yeah.
because I've mentioned it to you before. Anybody can write anything on the internet. How many times have you heard like the aunt be like, "Oh, I read on Facebook that," and it's like, bro, you got to
Same.
be kidding me. Anybody can write anything and throw it out there. Like,
Yeah.
um, so I think the best place to look is Google Scholar. It is a free resource. I don't believe you have to have a Gmail account, but I mean, it's 2025, and I feel like the majority of people have a Gmail account. But Google Scholar, you can search articles and it gives you multiple results. And you can go to those links. You won't always be able to access the full article. Sometimes it'll be like, what's your institution or what's your higher education email address. So you might not be able to access the entire article. A lot of times, you are able to access the abstract. which is kind of like a summary of the article. So like the research methods, the purpose for the research and the results, and then usually it gives you a little bit of the discussion after. But you can also probably access a lot of full articles too. Um, and if you don't know how to read a scholarly article, you can Google how to read a scholarly article, or you and I have talked about this. Throw it into
Yes,
Chat GPT. It'll
yes,
sum it up for you.
yeah.
And of course, you can always just Google. I mean, no, I mean, seriously though, in case you don't want to go that extra step, just Google it and you can find, I mean, information about anything. Just be sure to um make sure it is a how do I describe it? Credible
Mm,
source. So like I wouldn't take probably nutrition advice from People magazine as serious as I would like a scholarly article. Um, I mean, don't get me wrong, you might get good advice, no, like seriously, because I know they do interviews with like doctors, but like I still would question the credibility of the author and also the source, and question the credibility of the author because, like I said, anybody can write anything.
yes,
And but that doesn't mean they're qualified for it. Um, like I said the first time we did this,
yes.
one of my last assignments for one of my classes, it was a nutrition class, fantastic nutrition class, um, was reading an article, deciding if the author was credible, and therefore if the article was credible. And this dude had been writing about health topics for a few years, but had no background in anything health related. His like degree, I think, might have been in creative writing, if I remember correctly. Um, so I mean, he could tell a story and he told it well, but I don't know that the information was the best out there. Um, and heck, throw it into Chat GPT and ask Chat GPT if it's a credible source for all I care. I mean, there's plenty of ways to get information, and I mean, question it to make sure it is good and credible information, but you can definitely find some out there.
Excellent answer. Question everything. Question us, please. Now, Sarah is about to be a Harvard graduate. I'm just some guy she met on the street.
In the gym, not on the street, but yeah.
Thank you. In the gym. Is this information valid? Go research it yourself. Google that ish. And if you're on chat, say, hey, chat, I got this information. Give it back to me in the third grade level. And it will do that.
It will.
Not saying that you're dumb, but I'm saying that make it palatable. Make it so that you can understand the information that we're giving you, that you go search out on it. That's
And
what
there's nothing wrong with asking Chat GPT either. Like nothing wrong at all. There's nothing wrong with Googling how to read a scholarly article because you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes you just need it described in different terms to learn and understand it.
yes. One unknown. All right. Our final question, because we know that, as I've told you guys, we're taking information from the Bible to, give you another perspective, as well as the Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, the Essene gospel, chakra, taros, dietary, Yasin. So these different sources are a combination of experience for me personally, things that I have read, practiced, and that have worked. I would describe myself as a experimentalist and that I and an experientialist. So I experiment and allow the experiment to reflect in my experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So I take different things that I've learned, researched, studied, applied, and then I regurgitate it to you. I give you that information for you to go test yourself. Like I said, like we both said, go research it first. Don't just do it because I told you to do it or Sarah told you to do the research. Make sure that it's right for you because diet is individual. Everybody's body is different. And it's dope what Sarah is studying the psychology of food and flavor because everybody got their own flavor. Real talk. Some people like more savory, some people like more sweet. But from her, we can learn how these things affect our bodies and how we can take flavor to help heal our bodies internally and have an external experience because food is fun. Exercise is fun. There, you like the exercise.
I don't
Tell these people to
necessarily like. I do it because I know it's good for me. And truly, like that's why. I'm trying to
real talk.
prevent problems in the future, but I wouldn't say that I like it.
That's good. That's good that we're on opposite ends of the spectrum on that because I love to exercise. I absolutely love. You see me in the gym running on the damn hamster wheel.
I know, and I'm standing there thinking, no, couldn't be me.
And then I see you look over there a couple of times like.
No, I've seen some crazy things in the gym.
Oh my
You're
god.
fine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, especially in Planet Fitness. You'll see some stuff. But
Boy, the stories I have, but I will not share because that's not fair to those people. But yeah.
yeah. So Sarah, to finish out this pod, how can they get a hold of you? What's about to happen?
So you can get a hold of me on Instagram. My current username, profile name, is I don't know what it's called anymore. It's SJES0010. Um, could be changing. I'm not sure. I feel like I'm going through a whole life rebrand right now.
Oh my
But if it does, I will definitely keep you guys updated. But that is the best way to get a hold of me. Yeah.
excellent. You guys can follow me at all social media. I am pretty active on Twitter or X. X and
Sada.
yeah, I had to. Instagram and Facebook, and it's at Keith X rated XHEIFXRATED at the majority of all social media. I do have a business profile, which is quality at the standard above at DTHE, yes, period, standard, STANDARD, at the period standard above. And you can find both of us here doing this podcast. And then what you're going to do next is you're going to go to the description below and you're going to hit that link and you're going to subscribe to our newsletter where Sarah and I are going to keep you informed. Guys, we want to make sure that you have all the tools in the belt: hammer, drills, nails. It's time to go to work. But actually, how about I give you a fork and a spoon and
A
a plate
KitchenAid mixer.
in the kitchen?
Dude, I don't know if I told you or not, I'm getting my KitchenAid mixer tattooed on me. So like
Are
I'm
you
big on
really?
the mix. Yeah.
Oh,
Straight up. Martha, I'm getting her tattooed on me.
okay, so yeah, I really want to. I can ask you this while we're on the pod real quick, but would you be up for on your socials cooking the recipe and doing a video?
So I have thought about that. Here's my only issue with that. When I cook, there is no method to the madness.
Mm,
It's just kind of chaotic and I'm kind of like going with the flow. I probably could put something together. That salad is, as the kids say, bussin'. So I so I have been craving it a little bit. Um, I could probably put something together. Please don't judge me too harshly on the madness. That's kind of just how I like to cook in general.
cool. We're going to judge her and we're going to I'm playing. I'm playing.
It's fine. No, no, I mean isn't that like all social media? Like you're
Yeah,
putting yourself out there to be judged.
expect expected. So we got a lot coming for you guys. This podcast is called Eat It Up. Thank you, Sarah, for dropping just gems on us. Everything that you said is valid. Guys, go check her out. Follow her on her social media account. Please follow me. Again, my name is Keith Lamont Parker-Emerson Jr., your host with the most. That is Sarah Swank, Swaggity Swank. Boy, you already know what it is. Eat it up.
Oh,
Yeah. Thank you guys. Sarah, I will catch you later.
well, thank you all.
Peace. Hold on. Stay on.
Can do. Listen, y'all, you think they're gonna